Alright, ladies and gentlemen, totally enjoyed the show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Now, I do believe that with my videos on YouTube tonight, they're going to be fun, first of all. Fun, 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 darling. Very fun indeed, darling. They're going to be very fun. Now, the thing about my YouTube videos tonight is that I am definitely going to talk about some fun stuff and some motivational stuff and some anti-bullying stuff. Now, I find, there are some people that make negative comments, and I don't get very many negative comments anymore. I really feel that people are very understanding of my channel, they're very understanding of me. I treat people with respect in public. I try to make sure people feel good when I'm around them. In public as well. Some people might be getting hater comments because they're snobs or treat people badly. I try to treat everybody really well so that I don't run into problems on YouTube or TikTok where people make negative comments. Now, sometimes I have bad days and I can't help it. I'm not very good with people in general, but for the most part, I try to be nice to everyone. I try to be really good to people. I try to make sure people feel important because I'm at a position where I'm privileged. Now, I'm not necessarily privileged. I grew up poor, had nothing growing up, had a life where I was not rich by any stretch of the imagination. I was poor, very, very poor. Sometimes I had to go to food banks and all that. But I'm privileged in the sense that I'm white, that I'm the beauty standard, that I have a channel that's going to be viral, definitely. So I'm privileged that way, okay? Now, that being said, nobody makes comments negatively really very much anymore. I'm very lucky. People are very friendly to me. People don't say much negative stuff. People usually say positive things only to me on my channels now. Very happy about that, because when I make comments to people, people are very much like I don't have to worry about a negative comment just being thrown in there, okay? Very rarely does that happen now, because I treat people well. So anyway, besides that point, because I treat people well, that's irrelevant. Well, it's not irrelevant, it's part of it, but it's just like I treat people well, I get treated very well in return. But yeah, so even when I do get negative comments, because some people, of course, are not going to be happy with me. Some people are jealous. Some people may not have much. And when I was younger, I was the type of person that was like that too. When I was younger, I didn't have much. I had a job. I had minimum wage jobs. I had things that I was struggling with. And I was going through the same thing. So, when you go through that, even though I was the beauty standard, I was the best looking guy ever, I had basically been, talented and very good looking, but that didn't make me very happy. I mean, I was a happy guy too, don't get me wrong, but I was very much like not going places. I wasn't going to be rich. I wasn't going to be like huge success. I wasn't going to be a star, right? Now I have all those things happening for me, so I'm very lucky. So when you are in a position where you're working minimum wage jobs, you're doing bad things, not bad things, but things where you're not getting paid as much as you're worth, and you feel you're worth more, then you tend to be jealous. You tend to do things where you harass people or you don't like people, or you tend to do things where you're upset with people for being famous or doing things. I had family that was more successful than me, so I was upset with them. And it wasn't a purpose thing. I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I was like, they're doing this and here am I doing this. I'm upset, and I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't trying to belittle them or make them feel small. I wasn't trying to make them feel bad because they were doing well. I was just in a position where I wasn't doing that well. Even with my jobs, I never had a good job for a long time. Like, maybe not that long, but for a while. So I was very much the type of person that would be like, oh, I'm bitter, oh, I'm jealous, so this. Even though I was a happy person, I was good looking and all that, I had all this stuff going for me, but I was always feeling like I was less than or not. And I felt very good looking, don't get me wrong, but I had lots of other things going on for me that were good, but I was just very jealous in a sense. Like, it wasn't even something I was trying to do, but you know what I mean, right? Like, if you're in the same position as I was back then, maybe you're like, you see me and think, my God, he's doing this many videos. He's got this many channels, like TikTok and YouTube. He's gonna be rich, he's this and that, he's this and that. I was in the same boat as you. Maybe you don't see yourself having a YouTube or TikTok channel, but maybe you will, right? Maybe you don't see yourself being famous. Maybe you don't see yourself doing well, right? But maybe you've been in a minimum wage job all your life. Maybe you're like 50 and you're in a minimum wage job, right? So maybe, but those people can sometimes be very successful and grow out of it, right? So, when you're in a position where you're not doing as well or whatever, then you can't help but say, what am I doing and why is this person doing so much better? And I got to target them, not even on purpose, but they're upset to the point where they target you and they don't do it on purpose. I know for a fact, because I was like that before. When I was younger, I was very much like, I thought, why am I not doing well? They have this, they have that, everybody has this and that. And you lump everyone together and just assume everybody has it going on, everybody's doing well, and that's not always the case, right? So, I understand, people might be like, oh, Marco and Mileena, they're gonna do so well, whatever. But I understand because I was in a place like that at one point. And I didn't even do it on purpose, like I said. So maybe you don't realize the actions you do, and maybe because some people don't. And most people are very kind to me. Most people are very good to me. Very few people get negative responses to me. People are very friendly, and if they don't want to talk to me, they don't, right? And if they do want to talk to me, they will, right? But most people are not going to say negative things in public. People just don't say negative things really, unless you're just like so much of an easy target that they will. But people usually don't say anything rude or whatever, because they just see you in public and they think, wow, you're this or that, and they just leave it be. But anyway, so when I finally started getting a channel going, and I finally started to see, yeah, this channel is really, really good. I have a lot of potential. I'm going to be huge. I'm very up and coming. That's when I started to make the switch from the person that was very jealous, the person that had to always say something negative even though I didn't mean to, the person that was criticizing, tried not to, but it's like when you see someone like that's really famous and they're doing very well, and you've got a minimum wage job, you're not going to be like gung-ho about it sometimes. I mean, you might be, and then you are part of it because you're like, this person's famous, wow. And then the other part of you is like, but I'm not there, And that can't be helped, right? It's not like you can help that part of yourself. Because I know, because I was there, okay? So, if you are someone that has a channel and it's not doing as well as mine, which I'm not even famous, so maybe you should compare it to someone else, because I'm not that good. I'm not good, but I'm not famous there. But I will be one day, dog. I will, But yeah, so I know I'm going to be very, very famous, right? So when you see someone that's doing very, very well, you're excited, but yet you also want to cut them down because they're doing so well, so you want to put them in a place where you can feel comfortable, right? Now, I understand that's psychology and that's natural, okay? So if you've ever done that to me or you feel, oh my God, every time I see Marco, I'm always saying something rude and I don't want to, I really like his channel, I just don't know what to say because he's so intimidating, or he looks so good, or he does this and that. And you don't want to be like that. I understand, because I was like that too, I understand. When I was 20, I was very much like, just like, oh my God, that person's doing so well, what about me? And that was the whole focus, right? And people helped me gradually get better and better. And then now that I'm able to see that I'm going to be famous, I'm able to see past it and be grateful to all the people that were so encouraging over the years, even though I was very negative sometimes. But I tended to be very positive anyway. I think I was a very positive person in general, but I think there were some things that stood out. I was very much like, even if I was very positive, I tend to be very positive in general anyway, but I never really insult people, but I'm always praising people. But I think with the difference now is that, I can see that I'm going to be hugely famous. So I totally understand, someone that might be like seeing me and be like, oh my God, it's Marco, I don't know what to say. And when you don't know what to say to someone that's hugely famous, you're going to be famous, you can't help what comes out of your mouth sometimes. So I totally get that, I totally understand, when I was your age, and even if you're older and you're like that, when I was not going to be famous, I had the same mentality, okay? It's just like when people have a mentality where they're criticizing things outside of themselves because they're very poor or they're dealing with major issues. That's understandable too, But some people have major, major issues, so they're not going to be friendly, they're not going to be happy, so they criticize, right? and sometimes they cut deep, right? But in general, you know, if you are someone that is, you know, that is positive and friendly, and you don't see a way out of your situation, you know, if you don't see a side hustle that's going to get you money, or you don't think your YouTube channel is going to do well, you might be in the same boat, right? But now that I see myself being big and famous, I'm almost getting to the point now where if I saw someone that was hugely famous, I can collaborate with them without being intimidated, because I know I'm that kind of person to other people. Anyway, it is a great place to be at for sure. I was not at this place for a long time. Now I feel very good. And I totally understand. If someone feels like, hey, you know, they're not in this place, or they don't feel they contribute to society, or they don't feel their channel is good, or they don't have a channel, or whatever, you know, I totally understand. And when you're younger too, you know, maybe I'm saying it, and you're like, oh, that's me, that's me, that's me. When you're younger and inexperienced and have no knowledge and have no education and have no like less of it as you gradually earning it, and you're finding that you are like that, and you realize when I say this, you might be like, oh, maybe this is me, but that's when you're young, right? Like when I was young, I was very rebellious. I was very rude sometimes. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very inexperienced. I had done things that were hard for me, but I didn't know how to do them. And I was very much lost and very much struggling. So I totally get, you know, if you are a younger person and you're like, aha, this is me. You know, when you're younger, you never experience life. You never experience certain things. I've experienced major life things, and I've experienced tons of stuff. So, you know, I'm 43, and I've experienced enough that I can be famous for the rest of my life and be successful at it for the entirety of my life without worry, because I know that I'm the type of person that has gone through enough that I'm not going to go through that again, right? Anyway, if you, like I said, if you are that person and you're like, hey, I recognize that, that's me, you know. So I don't treat Marco well. Most people treat me well, but just in general, just saying in general. Sometimes I don't treat Marco well, or I throw in an insult when I don't mean to, because he's at a place where I would like to be. You know, and trust me guys, some of you guys will go way beyond me. And I mean, it's very rare. I think I'll be going way beyond everybody, but there's some people that are so good that go way beyond me. But if they're at a place now where they're not feeling like they're going to get there, they might feel like they're never going to get there, and they're still bitter and upset. Anyway, this does not speak for all young people. This does not speak for all people making less money. This is not speaking on behalf of everyone that might not have a channel, might not have a good channel yet. This is speaking on behalf of some people sometimes, okay? So it's not everyone. It's some people are poor, struggling, have nothing, and yet they're super happy and can talk to anyone and have no problems, have no jealousy, don't worry about a thing, don't feel bad or bitter, don't get jealous. You know, that's not something that's a trait that all people that are poor or struggling, or people that are having a hard time, or people that are not going to see themselves famous just yet, that's not something that all people like that experience, okay? So I'm just saying it as something to think about if you are in that place. And what I want for you to do with that information is try to get a side hustle that gets you rich. Try to get a YouTube channel that gets you rich. Try to get a TikTok channel that gets you rich. Because at the end of the day, the less people that I feel like are intimidated by me or feel they have less than me, the less people that are like that because I encourage them, the better I will feel. Anyway, totally enjoy the show, guys. Bye now. Bye, everyone.